With campus reform, and today we're at the University of Miami to find out how much students know about Joe Biden and Ukraine. So there's a recent news report out about a high-ranking politician in this country and who used his office to benefit his son. His son was placed on a board of a very large energy company, even though his son had no experience in energy, was paid a lot of money. Any guesses on who this public official might be?
Probably Trump.
One vote for Trump.
Donald Trump.
2 votes for Trump.
Oh, God.
3.
Trump.
4.
I think it's Trump.
I don't think it's Trump. I'm not very good with politics, so I have no idea.
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. Why do you? What makes you guess Biden?
It's an event of corruption that's occurring now. It's well known that Joe Biden, threatened government officials of Ukraine in terms of to save his son.
Unfreaking believable, folks. Give this kid a 4.0, baby. Give him 100 on the test. One of the few times that I've seen videos where they act. There's probably other people that have been shown that have done this, but I mean, the whole idea, obviously, is to show that the majority of students are social justice warriors and just woke. But this kid hit it right. He knows it, too. He's talking exactly about the fact when Joe Biden threatened when he was in Ukraine and said, hey, it's me, not Obama's in charge. Fire the guy or the $1 billion aid. It's out the door. Let's continue.
From an investigation that was occurring.
Since President Trump has been in office and since he was negotiating with Ukraine, his son, Donald Trump Jr., has been placed on the board of a large Ukrainian oil company and was paid $50,000 a month, even though he has no experience, no background in oil. Is that corruption to you?
Yeah, I mean, why is someone who doesn't have experience being chosen to go, perform a job that he actually hasn't been prepared for or, is knowledgeable about?
That's absolutely corruption. That's messed up. Everything he's done is messed up.
Yeah, it sounds like a conflict of interest.
Doesn't have anything to make him, good for that job, so doesn't have any experience, doesn't know how to do the job. It just seems like there's some sort of shady business going on over there.
Does that sound like corruption to you?
Yeah, definitely.
I would think so. I don't know anything else.
Yeah?
I mean, yeah, 100%.
Does that cross the line for corruption to you?
Absolutely. It's like the mafia. It's stupid.
I think that's pretty corrupt.
Do you think someone who was maybe using the office to benefit people around them, to benefit themselves personally, do you think a person like that should be president of the United States?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
And so do you think someone who's been accused of doing that is fit to serve as president?
I think that person should go to jail for 20 years.
How do you feel about someone like that being president? Do you think they're fit to serve?
I mean, definitely not.
No, I mean, if we look at the core values of America, you would say that we're all about individualism. So he should be able to if he really is as good as his father would think he is, then he should be able to get it on his own.
Are you comfortable with someone who's doing that and maybe enriching their son being president of the United States?
God, no. I don't think people in public office should be using their power to benefit themselves or people immediately around them, and their power should be used to benefit people who elected them.
Would it change your mind at all? Would your opinion change if I told you that instead?
Okay, so now he's going to start telling that it wasn't Trump, obviously. It was Biden. After all these kids have already basically said what? That absolutely it's corruption. It shouldn't be done. He shouldn't be president, right? Now let's see, let's see the mental gymnastics that go through these kids' minds as they're told that it wasn't Trump, obviously, or his sons, Eric or Don Jr. or Ivanka, that were basically involved in this. It was actually Joe Biden's son, Hunter. Let's see what they have to say for themselves now.
Instead of Donald Trump and his son, Don Jr., the story I'm telling you actually involves Joe Biden and his son, Hunter.
I would not be surprised. I'm not.
Another thing, too, is he needs to... Look at this. He needs to extend his arm all the way up there to reach this guy here. Anyway, just some fun stuff. Let's go.
I'm a fan of Biden either. It's messed up regardless of what party's doing it.
I'm not surprised. So what if I told you that the person doing this wasn't actually Trump, but Joe Biden? Does that change your opinion at all?
I was gonna get Joe Biden too because that's the only other person.
But he's so
yeah, it does
cute.
change my opinion on him.
Yeah, totally.
What do you guys think about Joe Biden generally?
I don't really know a lot about him, but if he's doing that, then it can't be good for our country.
Well, I guess not.
No, I'm still not surprised. I don't really support either of them.
I mean, yeah, it would surprise me. And I probably would still say the same thing, though, towards Joe Biden. So I don't know if it's like the name really matters to me.
If you were to find out that it's actually Joe Biden and his son Hunter who are doing this in Ukraine, do you still think that's equally corrupt?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not in favor of a lot of Joe Biden's policies. He's deported a lot of people, and there's a lot of things that he stands for. And I don't really necessarily identify with one political party over the other. It's just more so based on people's actions.
I would feel the same way.
You would feel the same way?
Yeah, regardless, like it's still wrong.
Would your mind change at all if I told you instead of Donald Trump and his son, it was actually Joe Biden and his son Hunter?
I couldn't believe it.
No, of course not. That absolutely makes sense considering I don't want to say like Joe Biden's history of things like that, but it's definitely not a position of not a.
Oh, go ahead and say what Joe Biden's history. We'll lie to say that, kid.
An issue of party rather than an issue of just basic decency.
I mean, Joe Biden broke the law, so I guess he looks bad doing that as well.
So you definitely think it's corrupt?
Anyways, folks, this is just one of those things where at least you didn't see, they weren't trying to spin it, I think, for the most part, when they were basically told that it was Joe Biden's son Hunter involved in this thing here. I didn't see too much in terms of backpedaling and trying to justify it or basically say that, well, you know what I'm talking about, make up excuses and things like that. So that really didn't occur. But what you did see is that a lot of these kids, when faced with that, with that truth, what they ended up saying was, what you heard a lot of them saying, is that both political parties, they weren't for. Now, if they were just saying that to sort of, they were obviously leftists or social justice warriors, types, or, Democrats, liberals, whatever, these students, and they didn't want to fess up to that, I could understand the mental gymnastics that they were basically saying, so it doesn't look bad on themselves by saying, hey, you know what? I don't like either of the parties, okay? They're equally corrupt. So that way they don't get attached, to the Democrats because of what Biden and his son Hunter, have done. Anyways, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasir Shaikh Show. I've been your host, Dr. Nasir. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Put your comments down below. Let us know what you think. And I'll tell you what I think. It's my final thought, which is when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. See you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.